One of the most chilling and horrifying crimes in Canadian history took place in 2008 on the Trans-Canada Highway in Manitoba. The resulting court trial that unfolded and subsequent results for the man responsible continues to anchor the country today. This is the case of the cannibal, Vinceli. On July 30th, 2008, a 22-year-old man named Timothy Richard McLean, who worked as a carnival barker, was taking a Greyhound bus from Edmonton to Winnipeg. He was sitting alone at the back of the bus and had been listening to music with his headphones on before going to sleep. At roughly 7 p.m., the bus picked up Vinceli in Erickson, Manitoba. The tall, bald Asian man in his 40s originally sat at the front of the bus before going to take a seat next to McLean. Several witnesses would later testify Lee would produce a large knife and, without warning, started stabbing McLean in the chest and neck. Passengers began screaming, and the bus driver would pull over to the shoulder. Most of the people on board ran, and those who attempted to help the victim were slashed at by Lee, who had gone off his medication for schizophrenia days earlier. A witness said that Lee seemed oblivious to his own behavior as he murdered Tim McLean, stabbing him to death with a calm demeanor. When Lee tried to exit the bus, the driver and other men used tools to keep him in place until the police arrived. Lee would alternate between stabbing the corpse of his victim and cannibalizing certain parts of the body, putting pieces of McLean in his pockets. Eventually, the RCMP would arrive, and a heavily armed tactical unit entered the bus as Lee walked around with his knife and the severed head of the victim. Lee was tasered, arrested, and would attend trial March 3, 2009. Vinceli would eventually be found not criminally responsible for the murder, and the legal process would enrage Canadians across the country. Lee would be granted treatment in a psychiatric hospital in Manitoba, given the freedom to move around within the community with minimal supervision, and given an absolute discharge in 2017, which would mean he wouldn't even have a criminal record for his crime, not even 10 years after committing it. Vinceli, who has taken the name Will Lee Baker, is living freely and working somewhere in Canada, his location currently unknown.